if you care about your time and you really want to be competitive, only way to be competitive is to two-step it the whole way.
Oh, I mean, like skip a step?
Take two at a time?
Right.
Oh. That wears me out more than single-stepping, though.
Yes. Yeah, and that's something you have to get used to.
Like you hit a wall, bam, and I can't even move after a little bit.
Right. Yeah, and it's training, getting used to it. If you do use a Stairmaster, you want to do the entire range, so big steps as possible. And you'll get that range down. I mean, proprioceptively learn what that is, so then you're not smacking on the bottom every time and
I'm using the mill.
out. What?
I'm using a stair mill.
That's good too.
Yeah.
The step mill is a little bit harder to get to two-step, because as soon as your foot hits that top, then the bottom of the foot is falling off, kind of thing. But if you can work it, then that's great. At least when it gets going fast. That's the way it is.
As fast as you can go.
So those are both good.
Yeah.
Because the step mill makes sure that you take the right step height. But the Stairmaster, you can get away with little tiny steps, and that's not going to do anything for you. That's not even as good as running. So make sure it's full steps. And also, if you're doing the Stairmaster, don't use your hands. Just go hands-free. Just swing your arms. And if only use your hands in case you need it for balance. But don't actually pull or support yourself with your hands. We talked about the interval training on the upright bike. You can also do redline training on the upright bike. And again, that is the best piece of equipment to train on, because it's the closest range of motion to stair climbing of anything. It just depends on the person. Every day would be great, but some people start out twice a week and then maybe build up to 3 times a week and build from there. If you go really hard, you probably want to stick a rest day in there, but you'll see when you go to TabataProtocol.com, that's an 11-minute workout. So it doesn't take a whole lot of time. Now, when you first start stair training, if you do stair train, if you can do it here or in a building, you'll notice that your times will drop in chunks initially. So the first time up will be 15 minutes, second time up 14. I mean, it's dropped a whole minute. And that's really normal for the first 4 to 6 times. And then it starts to level off. And then you might even have a bad day where you're slower than the previous day, but that's okay, you still got a great workout. So don't get too wrapped up in the times. But the reason that it drops in chunks so fast initially is because your nerves are learning how to do stair climbing. And your muscles haven't yet kicked in yet, because the innervation phase always has to run its course first. But that's where the fastest improvement happens. So that's why it's so important to try to get in at least half a dozen stair sessions before the big climb on March 21st. Because you can literally shave minutes off your time just by training your nerves to climb stairs. And then practicing the techniques in these movements. So for exercises to do to get stronger for the Columbia climb, lunges I'm going to show you, core like crunches, twists, things like that. The 2 most important muscle groups are your legs and your core for this kind of training. Also remember, never stop. Don't stop for water if you don't have to. You don't need it. Even if you're taking your time, you can go half an hour without water. You're sure your throat and your mouth is going to be really dry. If you do take water, keep moving. Drink it as you go up the next flight. But stopping is a really bad idea for your blood, for your heart, for your brain, lots of reasons. Momentum, try not to stop. Unless it's for medical reasons, try not to stop. So that's about all I have. I'm going to show you some exercises here. There's tons more in this booklet, so be sure that you grab one on the way out when you leave. We have 7 different exercise methods that we invented at the X Gym, and I think the most effective for stair climbing would be the mid-stops. So you're just going to the middle and holding for 4 full seconds, and then you go quick to the top, back to the middle, and hold full 4 seconds, and then bottom, middle for 4 seconds. I'm going too fast just for demonstration purposes. Top, middle, hold, and then your hand is just, the best place to do it is on a wall, so your hand is flat up against a wall, and then you're not pulling yourself or using any muscles other than your legs. So that's the lunge, and if that's too easy, then you can grab a doorknob or something to hang on to, like a banister, and then just do it in the air. You go to the middle, so the back foot's always off. Full 4 seconds, top, middle, holding 4 seconds, bottom, touch that knee, not your foot, back to the middle, 4 seconds, just like that. So those are 2 really great lunge exercises. Now for rail techniques, there's lots of different ways people do it. And I tried to find, you know, the secret rail technique among all the elite climbers, because I've had the pleasure of meeting most of them, and I've gotten to know a lot of them. And there is no best way. So Javier, who's the Mexican national champion, doesn't use rails. He just uses them on the turns. Same with Michelle Blessing, she's top 10 in the world. But Cindy Harris, who's number 1 in the country, climbs a rail like a rope, and so does Terry Purcell. So it's the inside rail, and they're just doing like this, hand over hand, the whole way up. These stairs are a little bit more difficult because they're uneven to do that, so it's just a practice, just kind of getting used to it. But this is nerve training again. So I've also seen people do like a crutch technique where they're offloading their legs a little bit, and this technique comes in really handy when your legs, when you get to that second burn and your legs are really tired, you've already worked through the first burn. For this one, it's kind of like the rope, except you're pushing like this. So you're using it kind of like a crutch and you're offloading. We can't do 2 rails today because obviously there's just 1, but when you're doing 2 rails, and that'll be pretty easy in the Columbia Center because that's a very skinny stairwell. You can do 2 hands. Jesse Berg does 2 hands at the same time. Mark does Trahanovsky. He's the number 1 in the country for the 50 to 60 age group. Just hauls. So he does it like this. He uses both rails, but you know, with his alternating with his feet. Try it all. Personally, what I do is all of them, and I switch it up every 10 or 15 floors, and then I feel like it spreads it around to lots of different muscles, and it also helps break the monotony, you know, in my head and stuff like that.